Hello there, wrestling fanatics. It is me, Team Ryry, and I'm back for a brand new episode of Wrestling Podcast, episode number 39. I have a guest here. Go ahead, my friend. Plug your social media. Take it away.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Justin Kish here. You guys probably heard me about 1,000 times already on this podcast. Very fun podcast. Come on, talk to my good friend Rai here. Follow me on Twitter at Justin David Kish. Also check out my website nexussportsnetwork.com, covering everything in the world of wrestling. We do ROH, we do WWE, TNA. We're also going into the indie scene, so we're going to give you guys all the coverage, all the extensive coverage that you guys cannot find online. And you guys can find it all on our site, so make sure you guys come and check it out.
Thank you, Justin, to come on board. You know, you're a very good guest, and hopefully you can come back in the near future.
Oh, absolutely, man. Just, give me a call whenever.
Awesome. Okay, first thing first, I want to discuss about Sasha Banks. Now, she had an awesome match at WrestleMania 32 for the belt. I thought she was going to win the belt. What about you, Justin?
Yeah, I thought that Sasha Banks was going to actually win that belt. I think it's time that, we get a new women's wrestler on the scene in the WWE, someone that can hold that championship on her own. She just got off, at the time, she was just a couple of months into the main roster after having a very successful run as the women's champion in NXT. That just shows that she can, hold that title, and she's very over with the fans. So, I was really banking on her, no pun intended there. I was really banking on her to win the women's championship at WrestleMania, but I guess the WWE still sees something in Charlotte. I think Charlotte's really, watering down that division, and I'm glad that we're getting a whole new opponent with Natalya, but, I think it's time that, Sasha Banks gets that opportunity.
Yeah, I agree. Now she's unhappy, Sasha Banks. Is it because after WrestleMania, I thought she was going to get a rematch, but was that the case? The rumor is, I guess she's going to get her title shot, rematch, sometime down the road, maybe SummerSlam? Are you hearing this, or is that just no rumor I'm hearing, Justin?
Well, what I'm hearing right now is that, everybody thought that she's unhappy with her role in the WWE, because when you go and look at all the NXT talents that have made their way up to the main roster, it's mainly a demotion. We're looking at this as we look at the Ascension, look at Tyler Breeze, Sasha Banks right now. These are all demotions up to the main roster. A lot of people are like, demotion, she was part of Team Bat. But you know what? Who actually, really, fully extended and looked into that whole Women's Divas Revolution or Women's Revolution? Beyond that, it just got the same old matches. It was not Sasha Banks all the time. It was mainly just Team PCB all the time. It was just getting, it was like a one-sided, tag team affair, surrounded around, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Paige at the time. Sasha Banks was just put into the mix with Naomi and my girl Tamina Snuka. But WWE has yet to really use Sasha Banks to her full extent. I can probably understand why she could be upset, but she actually denies reports of being very unhappy with her role in the WWE. And her time will come. I did hear that they're going to ride the Charlotte-Natalya feud all the way close to the build-up to WrestleMania. I think they're going to, squash this beef at the end of the build-up to the beginning of the build-up to SummerSlam. And then that is where what I'm hearing could actually be Sasha Banks versus Charlotte. That's going to be their starting point for their rivalry leading up into SummerSlam.
Man, so in the meantime, Sasha Banks is just on a sideline doing absolutely nothing in the backstage, correct?
Yeah, it irritates me, although we do see her talking to Shane McMahon the last couple of weeks. It's just nothing I am really exciting about. So, I'm getting very old and tired and sick of not seeing Sasha on TV. We're getting some of the basic matches. We're getting Becky Lynch versus Emma. We're getting Emma versus this. We're getting Emma versus her. It's just getting really, really old. So I want to see Sasha Banks get more TV time on Raw. I've been watching Raw for the last, back on a consistent basis. I know at a point I did not watch it on a consistent basis, but from what I've seen, Sasha Banks is not consistent enough on Raw. I think over time she made a couple appearances here and there on SmackDown, but this is just WWE not giving her opportunity and using her to the full extent.
Yeah, that's sad. Switch gears. Let's discuss about Ryback. What happened last night or before Raw? He's unhappy. Now the wrestler's unhappy. Go figure. The reason he's unhappy because for his WrestleMania spot. So I'm assuming before Raw kicked off, he went to McMahon, and McMahon Guess McMahon says just go home, and then I guess he's done with the WWE. I don't know what's the latest. So you heard anything the latest about Ryback?
Nothing that has yet to be announced. All I know is that Ryback just went home last night. It's like, who really cares? Ryback, Ryan Reeves, that's his real name. You know what he did to CM Punk? He had an opportunity up at the main event scene. I never saw Ryback as a champion. I never saw Ryback even close or deserving enough to be close to a WWE title. They tried rebuilding him as like the next Goldberg. It's just everything was just flopping for Ryback. I never really, was too excited about Ryback. I know they did Rybacksel with him and Curtis Axel, but that never really went forward with anything. I thought Curtis Axel could have been a much better main event star than Ryback, but both of those ended up being flop, projects with the WWE. Now that Curtis Axel's with that's the social outcast or whatever they call him. Ryback goes off being a below mid-card wrestler. I would have, he probably walked out because of his contract. It's all because of his contract.
Yeah, of course.
He just had a series of matches with Kalisto for the U.S. title. I'd rather be a mid-card wrestler, contending for the U.S. title than nothing at all. You're walking away from the WWE, something that, you build your entire life for. I know the WWE has promised wrestlers a lot, but they don't give a lot back in return. They'll say a whole lot, but they don't, pull through in the end. And that happened to Ryback. I guarantee that happened to Ryback. I can't confirm. I'm not having any confirmed sources or anything, but I guarantee we've all witnessed this, and nothing has came of Ryback. And am I upset that he's gone? No, because he kind of compares to me like Brodus Clay. Was I mad when Brodus Clay left? No. And it's just both of those superstars. When Brodus Clay left, he wasn't doing anything. When Ryback is leaving right now, he's not doing anything. Who really matters? I know the whole Kalisto had to elevate Ryback. So I mean that's how I honestly I would go about it. I think that Ryback is not going to end up being a missed opponent. No one really cares. So I mean, it is what it is.
And plus, he's a waste of talent. I think Ryback. He's a ripoff of Goldberg. We all know that when he first got repackaged. I saw him a couple years ago at the Extreme Rules, and he faced jobbers. Come on now, you don't put that stuff on pay-per-view for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying, Justin?
Of course.
So it's stupid. I mean, I wish the best luck of him in the future, whatever he's got to do. But whatever. But I think that we just let him go, right? Is it? It's not really official, right? Released him.
From what I do, he just basically pulled a CM Punk and just left.
Okay. Okay, let's switch gears again. Now, there are rumors that ROH might buy TNA. I'm not too sure this is legit. I don't know if this is a good move or nothing like that because I don't follow that stuff. I'm just hearing rumors. So, what is your thoughts? Any sources you're hearing, Justin?
Not that I do know. I mean, from what I do know, it's like the only thing that I do, what I'm hearing from this, is that the Young Bucks contract with ROH is going out, but say if this all does come about, TNA is just going downhill. I'm a TNA original fan. I have not watched TNA on a consistent basis in the last 2 years. Because the last 2 years, this company has just been taking, a shot to the leg, a shot to the head, a shot to the shoulder. It's just, how many body parts are going to run out until they officially, go
dead?
On? It's just everything is not going in their way. They're re-signing, the wrong talent. I know they re-signed Robbie E. They signed 2 indie stars. They don't have anybody on the roster. Everybody is gone. Robbie Roode is gone. Eric Young is gone. Austin Aries is gone. James Storm probably regrets going back to TNA because he's now riding solo. I mean, the only thing, the hottest commodity right now, in my opinion, in TNA, when they come back, it's going to be the Wolves again. Jeff Hardy is there, Matt Hardy is there, but that rivalry is so pointless because we already know, how close the Hardy brothers actually are, and I think that a rivalry between 2 of the brothers is just bad for business. So, I mean, nothing is going about. I know Dixie Carter is still trying to sell the company, or they're selling the company, but she still wants like majority control of like all the all of the decision making. So like 53% is what I've heard that she wanted within the company. Will anybody want to take that? Probably, probably not. We'll have to wait and see. But ROH is a promotion which I honestly think runs away with everything over TNA. I know that ROH has a much better roster in TNA in my book. There's a lot of great development guys. They do have the Young Bucks down there, one of the best tag teams, if not the best tag team in professional wrestling today. I mean, ROH just overshadows TNA by a long shot. TNA is just barely, on their limbs right now. They're barely standing up on spaghetti legs. So, honestly, if ROH does buy out TNA, good for them. Maybe they can end up having like a morph promotion. I've always said that, right now TNA should just be an indie promotion.
Yeah.
Just call it Impact Wrestling. Just be an indie promotion. No one wants to have them. No big network wants to have them. They had a run with Destination America. I don't know what promotion or TV. I don't even know what even channel they're on now.
Pop.
I mean, not the top of my head. What'd you say?
Pop.
Oh, they're on Pop Television.
Yeah.
Pop Television. That's the biggest TV channel out there. So I mean, it's just they're bouncing around from everything from TV channel to TV channel, to network. It's just they're moving their warehouse, their studio, where they keep all their merchandise.
Yep.
They're going to be going into another place. They're budgeting cuts. People are not getting paid. It's a damn mess in TNA.
Yep.
If they're able to make it to 2017, or if they're able to finish out a 2017 year, I'll be surprised as anybody else.
Yeah.
But they still have some good guys over there. I like Trevor Lee. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge mark out for the American Wolves or the Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards. So, I mean, they have a lot of great talent, but, the money, sponsorships, everything like that is ultimately failing on them. Nothing is going their way.
Yeah, it sucks. They lost so many damn talent. They lost AJ Styles, Sting, and much, much more. That's like the heart of TNA. Now TNA's on life support. I can't care less about TNA anymore because they were good back in the early 2000s, my friend,
Oh, yeah, they had a huge-ass roster back in 2000.
Yes.
I want to say the 2004 all the way to, like, 2009. That was probably the best years in TNA, in my opinion. I mean, TNA had kind of like a rocky 09 year. But, the roster compared to what it was, then to now, you would definitely take the earliest, because that days they had Samoa Joe, they had Christopher Daniels, they had AJ Styles, the whole X Division was on top.
Yes.
They had Kurt Angle, who just left the WWE, but Kurt Angle was still wrestling at a high level.
Yes.
He had a great rivalry with Christian Cage. Oh my God, it was good. I loved it, and I've been watching TNA since the Asylum days. So.
Okay, now the thing is AJ Styles' two buddies. I think so far they're blending into this whole storyline with the title picture, and I'm glad, because when Luke Gallows, when he was in WWE, he had a stupid gimmick. It was pathetic. They let him go. He was in New Japan, and WWE brought him back. Go figure, And so, what's your thoughts on these two guys with AJ Styles? What's your thoughts on those two guys, Justin?
I'm just like everybody else out there. I'm a big Bullet Club kind of guy. I am mainly a big advocate for Carl Anderson.
Okay.
Love the Machine Gun. Been following him for years.
Okay.
And he comes over to the WWE. I do not like the way that's being booked right now.
Okay.
But I expect this to turn around pretty soon.
Okay.
I think that they're going to end up doing something good with AJ Styles. But I still think they're missing out on Finn Balor. I think they really need to get this Balor Club, Bulletproof kind of thing going, whatever the hell you want to call them. They need to get that brewing pretty quick. But I think that they're waiting off until, some explosion goes off. They need to get, like, something huge. You want to, perfectly want to debut Finn Balor at the right time. Do I end up seeing a double cross on AJ Styles at some point from Gallows and Anderson? I can see it. I thought we were going to get it, but I think that them betraying AJ Styles at Payback was a bit too soon, because he's only been up with the main roster for, I want to say, 2 to 3 weeks already. That's just too early. And that's just rushing a storyline too fast. I think the best way to go about it is you either, betray him at the next pay-per-view, Extreme Rules, and then you can end up debuting Finn Balor. Finn Balor is the guy that, after they attacked after if they will attack, AJ Styles, leave him at the end of the ring, and then all of a sudden you can have Finn Balor come out, and then you can have a 3-man Bullet Club stable. So, I mean, that is how I would book it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, anything can happen. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, we'll see. Weeks to come, because we only got what, 3 weeks until Extreme Rules, right, Justin? Or 4 weeks?
I think they said the pay-per-view is on the 22nd. I could be right, I could be wrong. It is actually on the 22nd, so yeah, we're about 3 weeks out.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad they pushed an envelope. I know I am not a big fan of 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. I hate that with a passion. I'm not too sure if you hate that, but I hate it because the storyline is not great. But this pass for the road to Payback, it is freaking awesome. I love it.
Payback was like I said before, if you guys read or listened to mine on my channel, on my review for Payback, wasn't alright, but the build up to it was a nice solid month of Raw.
Yes.
SmackDown, I do not watch SmackDown. I just don't have the time to sit there and watch all the shows all week. I just think SmackDown is okay, we're going to add a couple of matches here and just call it a show. There's no really, extended anything in there. I do watch just the highlights of it if anything big does go down on SmackDown, which has barely been happening because Raw is the flagship show. But, it's like I don't really watch SmackDown, but I really like the build-up to Payback, through Raw mainly. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things going up on Raw right now.
Okay, last night on Raw, they had an awesome segment. Dean Ambrose, his show, his special guest with Stephanie McMahon is awesome. Then she canceled it, same old shit. Then a few months later, Y2J came out. I thought he's done. I thought he was gonna go back on road, and it was great with the whole flower pot. And do you think this is the end of Y2J, or is he gonna go back on road? I think last night was the last appearance for a while for Y2J, right? Am I wrong?
I would have to say you're wrong on that one because, you don't go out there and then all of a sudden, you hit Mitch over the head of Chris Jericho. Yes, Mitch is the name of a plant that we all saw, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yes.
But I don't think that's really the end of Jericho.
Okay. I mean, maybe the original idea it was, and then maybe WWE asked him to come back, or I don't know. Was that the original idea?
What's that?
Was he scheduled to appear last night on Raw?
I heard that Jericho is actually, continuing to be with the company. I think going all the way to SummerSlam.
Wow.
That is what I'm hearing. I could be wrong. I think SummerSlam could be his last run.
Okay.
For a while, but anything could happen. But I'm just getting really sick and tired of Jericho coming in, coming out, coming in, coming out. I mean, kind of like the Undertaker. I'm just getting really sick of it.
Yep. Well, I think there's gonna be a limit. But McMahon don't care. Y2J is on great terms. Same thing for Taker, so he don't care. You know what I'm saying, Justin, or am I wrong?
I think you're right.
Okay.
You have a good mind for it.
What's your thoughts so far on this Dean Ambrose and Y2J feud? Is it okay, or do you think it'd be way better?
In general, as of late, I am okay with it. Personally, towards Dean Ambrose, I think some of you guys could agree. Debate me if I'm wrong. Dean Ambrose has lost a lot of steam in his matches. I think that his matches lag on way too long. We saw it at WrestleMania. We saw it at Payback. We saw it a couple of times on Raw. Some of these matches, you can write a damn novel during the match. And you can complete it. And it's just a lingering effect that it's just constant in Dean Ambrose matches. They're slowly paced. These are just lately. Dean Ambrose doesn't have to seem like he had when he was like with the Shield or in his early days starting with the company. I mean, he has had a lot of great matches this year, last year, and the last couple of years he's been in. But as of late, I'm seeing like a constant effect in his matches. They're not as entertaining as they once was. They're too slow. And I'm not saying I'm blaming everything on Dean Ambrose. Some's to blame on him. Someone's blamed on the talent that he's actually booked with. Jericho is good. I like Jericho. I've been a lifelong fan of Jericho. I'm not the biggest diehard fan of Jericho. I like what he does on the mic, great mic work. But, Jericho as well. He does heelish things, and, that's typical Jericho. But he's been slowing down a little bit in the ring, too. And 2 slow guys in the ring really, destines a full-on slow matchup. So, I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be, right, and, everybody will have a different opinion on it. So, I'm open to hearing that criticism about it.
Are you a fan of fast-paced matches, or you prefer like very, very slow paces matches in the ring, Justin?
It depends on what you define by like fast-paced matches. Are we talking like 25-second Baron Corbin matches, or are we talking about, a decent, 10 to 15-minute match?
I'm talking about like a Rey Mysterio kind of thing, like that kind of fast pace.
Oh, like like Lucha Libre kind of.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. I love Lucha Libre. I've always been a huge advocate. I love guys like Evan Bourne or Matt Sydal. I mean, Mysterio's up there. I'm a huge, huge fan of Neville.
What about RVD?
But yeah, I really love Lucha Libre.
What about RVD in his younger days?
Yeah, I love RVD. Even to this day, I know he's not. From what I don't hear, I know he's doing some independent stuff. But I don't think he's going back to the WWE anytime soon.
Okay.
But I do like RVD. His early days stuff is really cool.
Is he a future WWE Hall of Famer?
Damn right. Everybody's going to be a Hall of Famer, and down the line we're going to end up seeing Wade Barrett in the Hall of Fame. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of sad that he's leaving the company, but it just irritates me. But oh my gosh, it just rips me apart. I don't know if you're a fan of Wade Barrett, especially when he first came in the company, but they had chances after chances. The chances give this guy a main event title shot, or title win,
Yeah, I think that they really flopped on it. I mean, he has the look now.
Yeah.
But the WWE just decides that he's not the really guy to hold it. I think that he does good on the mic, but it's just like, I don't like how the way that they changed everything for him. They gave him a lot of things like IC titles,
yep.
King of the Ring, name changes. It's just like, call him Wade Barrett. Don't do this whole Bad News Barrett bullshit. I did not like the whole Bad News Barrett thing. It kind of scared the hell out of me that this guy's like going up these little scaffoldings and just debating everybody and just like, I got some bad news for you. It's like, just shut up. Just shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I mean, he was okay at first, but it just got so boring. He could do way better than he do this, Then he's in this League of Nations, is finally broke up. Thank God, that was not going anywhere, and it's pointless. And another thing is, off the record, last night on Raw, Ryback supposed to be in that for the number one contender for the U.S. belt, and Russo in it. Really? Is this all WrestleMania 31 all over again? Jesus Christ,
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they see in Rusev again. I think that the best thing that I'm going to predict this. I think they're going to bring back the European title.
You think so? On TV?
I think they could.
Okay.
I think that having Rusev, if Rusev does defeat Kalisto, who I'm a big fan of on the roster right now, if he defeats Kalisto, because there's been a lot of, these photos being taken with, the Women's Championship, the European Championship, I think that Rusev should be the guy to bring that title back, because everybody loves the European title. Who does not love the European title?
That's awesome.
If the European title is on shopwwe.com, I'll be the first person to buy it. That title was one of the best looking titles that the WWE has ever came about. I mean, next to the light heavyweight champion in my book, I love the light heavyweight title back in the day. European title was second to the WWF title, the Winged Eagle one. Then it was the European title, then the light heavyweight title.
Well, if they bring it back, Justin, it won't be like the same belt. They will probably be a whole different design.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of scared for.
That's what, same thing for this women's belt, off the record. I mean, it's okay, but it's like so. Seem like the women's belt. The guys belt. It's so stupid. They should keep it separate. The look. The only thing that's different is like the pink around it, and it's pathetic. Yeah,
the red in the behind the actual titles just really gives it away. But everybody says they like it. I don't like it. I think they should have either brought back the old one, but this is 2016. We are in a new quote unquote era, so I guess that's the way they want to go. I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta get used to it, but whatever. But I'm just not a big fan of it. But it's way better than the big Divas belt they had for many years.
Yeah, the Divas belt was so stupid. I didn't like the whole butterfly thing. I called that the Lay Cool Maurice title. I mean, you can give thoughts over to Melina and stuff like that, but I think that Melina was a better wrestler than the other three. That's in my opinion. I'm a huge fan of Melina, but
yeah,
that's a Maurice title. Maurice held that for the longest time.
Oh yeah. By the way, I don't know if I told you, but I did met her before in Chicago at the Chicago War Wheels. She's a very very nice lady. I got her autograph.
That's what's up, man. Congrats.
Yeah, she's. I wish she came back, but I guess her and W on bad terms. Is that correct?
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
I think if she's on good terms or bad, she's definitely a future W Hall of Famer, no doubt.
I mean, everybody and their mom was going to be in the WWE Hall of Fame. I mean, God forbid Sheamus will be booked on it for Rusev. You know, the WWE will be putting all these retired guys into the Hall of Fame. And then what? What else is next? Who else is going to go in? You know, they're going to start ending up bringing guys up who don't deserve. Like the Godly Gooker is going to get in there.
Yep, probably. Yep.
It's just, you know, it's just getting a little bit, yeah.
Do you think Doink? I know he passed away a long time ago. Do you really think he deserved to be in Hall of Fame?
Well, yeah, he was one of the biggest, you know, during the character era the whole persona edge era, the gimmick era. You know, he was a big, you know, factor of it. You know, I kind of enjoyed the heelish, you know, Doink Clown. I thought that was probably one of the most interesting things I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But, you know, it got over. I think it got over in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree, but now I'm hearing his family is trying to sue the W because he didn't give a major push or whatever, because, I don't know, you heard about that rumor a while back?
What's that?
His family's not too happy about his current status before he passed away because he was not getting pushed back then. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, I did. I think that's a little bit. You know, I'm not the right person to be really saying anything about it because, you know, everything could be, you know, misconstrued. I think that, you know, if they want to honor him in the Hall of Fame, you get him in the Hall of Fame. I think that they should really, you know, bury some hatchets around and just get him inducted. I think that, you know, this is something that you got to do.
Yeah, I think next year's class hopefully be better than this year. I mean, it's okay, but they could do way better than this year's class, Justin, you know?
Yeah.
But it seemed like when, like they're in Dallas, they want to get people from local. You know, I understand that, and you know sometimes it shouldn't work like that because there's a lot of great talent, and Vader should be in the Hall of Fame. He's way overdue. There's a lot of old school guys are way overdue, Justin. I don't know why W's not reaching out to them. You know.
Yeah, I think Vader's the guy that needs to be going in there. China's should be going in there. I mean, there's a whole lot more out there, but I think that they really need to get these bigger stars. And you know, I was even given the nickname Vader time when I was growing up because I was a big fan of Vader.
Yep, and he was more over in WCW than WWE. You know, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it was mainly, you know, either or. I mean, Vader didn't really have the long extended, you know, run in the WWE. I mean, you know, he had a lot of big impact. I mean, none of it was really. Oh my God! Did you hear any of the Vader highlights on the network, or did you see any of the Vader stuff back in the day? No one was really, you know, marking out for it.
Nope.
So I mean, Vader was very good, and he was much better in his days with the WCW.
Okay.
As I think he had that little Macedon kind of thing. I think that was a much better run.
Yeah. It seemed like when W get, you know, like not washed up, yeah, maybe washed up kind of guys. But I know a lot of people are gonna get mad at me from WCW days, and they're not in a big. They don't give a major run or not like that because it's their end of their career, and I'm still disappointed that WWE did not pick up Sting a while back, and it was a little too late. Well, he had a lot of chances. He was keep denying it, and he wants to stay in TNA, and look what happened. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, Sting probably did come and think about it. I mean, I know he was at one point close to signing with WWE, but everything just fell through.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's just how it is. You know, it's the nature of the beast. You know, we didn't get the Undertaker match.
Nope.
I don't know exactly when he's going to be returning. He said it's not goodbye for good, it's just goodbye for now. You know, what role is he going to have? Is he going to be becoming a part of the pre-show panel? Oh, wow, that's really going to be a big role for Sting. I want to see Sting in the ring. I want to see Sting come every now and then.
Yeah, I think this is my theory. Maybe a GM for Raw or something like that because Raw and SmackDown, they need GMs again, you know?
Yeah, but it all determines on how big their roster will be during this time, during that build-up if Sting does return.
Yeah. I like Sting. You know, do you watch the network once in a while when you ever had a time, Justin, or whenever you feel like it?
Oh, all the time. I watch the network all the time. I'm currently doing the 2001 run of the WWE, watching, you know, every show Raw, SmackDown, and then the pay-per-view, just to relive some of the finer moments.
Okay, do you think maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, do you think that network will still be around?
Yes, because everything else is going digitally now. Because all you have to do is pay $9.99 a month for all the big digital things.
Yes.
Netflix, Hulu, UFC's doing it, Major League Soccer's doing it, MLB is doing it, NBA is doing it,
Wow.
NFL is doing it. I mean, everything is going digital now. You know, even though like the NFL Game Pass is what I have, the MLB extra innings, I just canceled my subscription because right now it's not the hottest time in baseball, so I'm able to catch highlights on Sports Center. But the WWE is doing the same thing. I think that that's the best way to do about it. I think they will be around in about 10 years. I think by that time, there's going to be like everybody's going to look back to, oh wow, look at the WWE about 10 years ago. Look at where the roster is now compared to what it was, in 2016.
Do you think, okay, all them DVDs, people have in their collection, it's not worth selling it because it's not worth any money, correct? The real old school ones, like from the early 2000s and beyond. I know there's some rare ones out there, but do you really think it's really worth selling? Or do you think you should just keep it in collection just in case the network just folds?
Well, you can do that. I mean, I've been collecting DVDs for a while. I mean, everybody has their breaking point when it comes to their money. You don't want to spend like $500 on a DVD buying spree. That'll put you in debt. That has happened to me twice in my life. I'm able to come on here and say it. But I'm able to rebound from it. I'm doing good, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for your concern. But I think that people should, keep their collection. That's something that you put, hundreds upon hundreds of dollars into memorabilia in general for wrestling. I think people should be, saving that stuff. If you're a bunch of diehard wrestling fan and, you want to save what you got. I have a lot of stuff that I'm collecting now. I'm mainly, collecting, the figures right now. I'm a big fan of collecting the NXT figures. I'm a huge NXT guy. Mark out for all the NXT events that I see. Collecting guys like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, everything like that. But DVD-wise, that's also a great thing. I'm trying to collect some of the old school stuff. I actually have a checklist of all the DVDs that have been currently produced by the WWE, and I'm going down the checklist. I don't have a whole lot of DVDs, but I'm still keeping an eye out for it. And I'm always the kind of guy that goes to the DVD store. If it's something that I can get 2, 3 months, 4 months down the line, I'll probably pick it up later. But I want to get some of those DVDs are very hard to find in my local area, and get those before I get all the other ones that are just basic. You can get these on eBay for like $2 or 3 cents, and whatever the case may be.
See, for me, I stopped collecting the DVD because the network, and that saved so much darn money on me because back in the day, the WWE DVDs was so expensive. I think, $24, right? Back in the day, the DVDs wise. This is way before the Blu-rays, right, Justin?
Yeah, I remember buying I don't even remember buying the VHS tapes.
I never did.
I remember having... Oh, go ahead.
I never did. I just bought the DVDs because I was too young by the tapes when they first came out, the tapes.
Yeah, the tapes were the first things I started buying. I mean, the first time, I go back to collecting the WWE back to when I was 4 or 5 years old in 1998.
Wow.
I remember picking up the early days, the original WWF Attitude Collection. You saw like Stone Cold Uncensored, TLC,
yes,
which is my favorite one. Undertaker the Phenom I had. That's a very, 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 very rare VHS tape. I've had it. I ended up selling it, in a garage sale. My parents were trying to down things when I was moving from Arizona to New Jersey. But I got rid of a lot of that stuff. So it really broke my heart to really have one of the rarest kind of DVD/tapes out there, including the tape. I think the Undertaker Phenom tape is going on for like $250.
Damn.
On Amazon and on eBay. So
wow.
That was probably one of the most rarest things ever. And even if I do had it on, VHS or DVD on that, I would still not sell it. But I remember going back, my first ever, WWE DVD. I want to say it was King of the Ring 2000, and I think the second one, I think it was on Christmas as well, was Judgment Day 2001 with Steve Austin and Triple H booked for that match. That was during the Stone Cold Undertaker rivalry with Sarah getting involved in that car accident. So, that's some old school stuff.
Well, for me, my rare ones is the Homecoming from '05. This is way before they put on that box set of Raw. I got that one. And the old one, the review of when Michael Cole and the King was reviewing the pay-per-views that year. Remember that one?
Not at the top of my head, but if you want to refresh my memory, feel free to.
Okay, yeah. So those are the rarest ones I have in my collection, and I don't think those on the network. I don't think so, but I'm not gonna get rid of those.
Yeah, the network doesn't have a lot of the good documentaries or anything that they've done. I don't think they're gonna put in like any of the Attitude Collection on there. There was a lot of great, overall good, VHS tapes. The Attitude Collection was one of my favorites, probably one of my favorite box sets. The WWE has done great things with doing the Anthology Collection, going up to 20, like a whole new era for WrestleMania 20. I mean, but the Attitude Collection, specifically different, DVDs, cassettes for the different superstars. You got one for The Rock, I had Rock Just Bring It. They had Stone Cold Uncensored 316. They also had one for the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, and Hardys, for their TLC one, which is my overall favorite DVD. It's just, that constant, VHS that I continuously to watch as a kid because, I love tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling is one of my all-time favorite things to watch. And, the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian were, the factors of my tag team childhood there. So, that's just, my opinion, and I think that's an overall good DVD. But the Attitude Collection is just, picture perfect. If you're really, that hardcore wrestling fan, you've got to go out of your way and buy that cassette or buy that complete collection.
So I think eventually, Justin, they're gonna stop making DVDs and Blu-ray for wrestling. It's true because I know a lot of hard wrestling fanatics who collect this stuff whenever it comes out for every Tuesday. But it's gonna happen eventually. Am I right or am I wrong? Not right away, but it's gonna fizzle out because they have a card.
Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go ahead, man. Finish what you're gonna say.
I say the latest ones for DVDs for WWE, they put a card in there. Big. It's nice, but I remember the good old days when they used to put a insert on the mass listings. They stopped that, they brought them back. They stopped that, they brought them back, and they ended up putting no damn artwork on these damn covers. I know why I don't buy them anymore, but it's not fair to the collectors. You know what I'm saying? You spend. And the price went down big time now because ever since the network, they should have done it years ago before the network.
Well, I don't think they're gonna stop. Producing DVDs. They're doing a lot of compilation DVDs now. There's a lot of great ones out there. Like I think the latest comp right now was the United States title, putting all the best United States matches into a three-disc set. They also came out with one of my all-time favorites. The Macho Man Randy Savage one was great. Owen Hart one was awesome. They were doing some good ones, but I just don't think they're going to end up, quitting doing the whole Blu-ray DVD sales because they still need to bring in some revenue. That's revenue from DVD sales. They do get a cut of the DVD, selling portion. So they're still, if it still, produces money, and for people who don't have the network or don't want to pay for it, they can still go out and buy the DVDs. And you don't want to buy the network, that's fine, but there's still an option out there to go get those DVDs.
That's true, but why every time when a new DVD comes out, it's the same matches we have on the previous DVDs in your collection? You know what I'm saying? Why they can't just make like a documentary? It's so hard, you know what I'm saying? It's like recycle from the previous DVDs we have. So what the hell? I just saw this match from my previous collection. You know what I'm saying?
That just leaves some poor promotion from the McMahons.
I know it's sad, but that's why I stopped. There's nothing wrong with your collection. I'm not bashing anyone out there who's listening at the moment. That's why I'm collecting movies. It's not really a recycle for that, is there? No.
No, I'm a big fan of the, outside movies and stuff like that. I'm a big Star Wars guy. I saw the new Star Wars movie. I picked that up, about 3 weeks after it came out. I got it on Blu-ray. I'm trying to transition over to Blu-rays now, but Blu-rays are, still at a high peak. Some of the old school Blu-rays are out there, still linger around $6 to $7. Some of the new ones go for 25 to 30. So I kind of coast away from Blu-rays if I can, but if I really want to, if it's a DVD that I really want that I watch all the time, then I'll put down the 25 to 30 bucks for it. But that's very so often.
Yeah, but if you go like off the record, this has nothing to do with wrestling. If you go to that $7.99 bin at Walmart or Best Buy, you're good. But sometimes, like a brand new one, it's like 40 freaking bucks. You know, I'm just gonna wait. I just usually bought off the record. I bought the Rocky movies, the whole box set for 20 bucks. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, I'm not a big Rocky guy. I never really did like Rocky.
And it's only 20 bucks. I mean, they don't have the new one. They just came out. Wish they did. But I love those movies, you know. I'm not a big boxing fan, but the stores are freaking awesome. So I love Star Wars.
I remember growing up back in the day. You know, I picked up the Lord of the Rings. You know, I'm a nerd guy. You know, outside of sports is the first thing that comes to me. Everybody else has their different thing that gets them away, their hobby. Sports happens to be the biggest thing in my life. I'm going to school for it. So, but outside of that, I love Star Wars. I'm probably the biggest Star Wars guy. I read the books. I go to Comic-Con. I'm not dressed as Star Wars, but I always go and check out the Star Wars stuff, everything like that. But also, there's a little Lord of the Rings in me as well. I love Lord of the Rings, to the top. I even got the extended version. The extended versions for all three of them were like $127 for all three extended versions. And I actually, about 7 years later, I've seen them, the extended versions before. I picked up all three of those for like 25 bucks. So, I mean, there's a completely, $85 or $75 drop in price if you wait a little while.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't have patience to wait until the price goes down. I was so dumb back then when the new wrestling DVD comes out. Oh, wow, I gotta buy this right away. I should just wait a couple of years to buy it because I just want to put that on my channel and get views on it. But it was not the case. But it's okay. But it's not really big deal. I guess everybody had their own opinion. I'm not bashing anyone out there. So that's about it. Thank you very much, Justin. This is a fantastic podcast. So once again, go ahead and plug your social media and Hoopla, and I'm not too sure if they heard it the first time.
Twitter.com @JustinDavidKish. You guys can get that below on the comment section. Also, check out my website, the NexusSportsNetwork.com, NexusSportsNetwork.com. That's where you guys get all your wrestling coverage, indie, professional wrestling, all across the board. WWE, TNA, ROH, everything, guys. I mean, we're also covering NFL, MMA, just about everything. Take the time, take a couple of minutes, take a couple of seconds, check it out. If you like it, please keep on, coming back. We got you guys covered. New interviews are up weekly. We try to get athletes from all sorts of, everywhere, wrestling, MMA, baseball players, football players. We got you guys covered. We try to book guests as much as possible, and we got a couple of interviews coming out this week. I'm not going to tell anybody who it is because these are all frequent surprises, so make sure you guys go and check it out.
Yeah, all his links down below. Subscribe to this guy. He's pretty good. He's a pretty good guest and all good stuff. And subscribe to me. Check out all my stuff. You could just go there and hopefully I do it correctly. Before, when I have guests, I totally botch it. So hopefully you click on it if you like it. Subscribe to both of our channels, and actually I got more channels than one. And follow me on Twitter, follow him on Twitter, and everyone have a great one. You want to say goodbye to your viewers, Justin?
You guys take care.
And we'll see you next episode number 40. Goodbye, and thanks for watching. Or listening, sorry.